Well, today we are joined by a true legend of the funny business. He has over 20 years on stage and also 16 one-man shows, as well as a recent induction into the SA Comics Choice Hall of Fame. He is also considered as one of our country's most beloved voices. I mean, from Cape Town to, of course, also the international stages in London and Dubai. The list just goes on and on. He continues to make us laugh. And I'm wondering if you can think of who this person can be. Well, it is none other than multi-award winning comedian Marc Lottering.
Yo, what a welcome. What a welcome. I should take you with me everywhere I go.
You know, I mean, I'll give you free PR, I promise you.
Yeah, thank you. That's on record
When,
now.
when I say that, you know, in all sincerity, because I mean, Marc, firstly, it's such an absolute honor to have you here with us
Thank
today.
you.
And I know we were reminiscing a little bit, you know, off camera, just talking about, you know, the industry and how things have moved and changed and just the spaces that you are in. And you, I have to say, you are just one of those people that I know many comedians look up to, but also many South Africans look up to as well. I mean, you've also been on fantastic international stages, but I'm sure, you know, that South African culture and that vibe you always keep with you. If you were to think about, okay, you know, taking yourself all the way back to that young man that you were right at the beginning, did you ever think that the work that you're doing is going to be impacting South African culture so much?
Sure, if you're asking me to take me back to into my mind when I was a young man, you're asking for a lot, eh? I must go back far. But when I started out, you know, I started out in 1997, 1998. And I didn't think that, you know, I've never thought of myself as a comedian. I've just always thought I was a funny storyteller. And I just thought that that would kind of last for a year or two at most. And yet I am still doing what I do. And I think it speaks to the fact that South Africans love to laugh. Our country goes through a lot.
Yes.
And it's laughter that actually gets us through stuff. And what I can tell you is a real gift for me is when I'm performing in Joburg, when I'm performing in Cape Town, to see South Africans from every corner of the country sitting under one roof, laughing. That for me, you can't put a value to that because you don't see that on X. You don't see that on Instagram. We like to fight. We like to name call. We like to say you that and you that. But the truth is, there are more people in our country who want the country to be beautiful, who want the country to work, but we only see the ugliness out there. So it's a gift for me as a comedian to be able to witness the togetherness of us.
I love that. And I mean, it's so true. And you're just hitting a little bit hard home for me here right now because it's exactly the space that I feel we need to be in. It's our role within these media spaces to teach, to uplift, to empower at all times. Now, the world has changed as the years have gone by. And one of the things I've always wondered is how have you managed to keep your material so authentic, so relatable, and just like always fresh and current and right there, you know, when everything is like a copy paste, if you look at how things are these days. How have you managed to do that?
When I write my material, I try to only talk about what I know. I try to only talk about what I'm going through. And of course, the challenge for me and what makes my heart beat faster every night when I'm standing in the wings before I walk out into that audience is, will the audience find it funny as well? And that is why every comedian, but I know this about singers as well, before we walk on, you know, we fart uncontrollably. And that's become a little bit more tricky the older you get, because sometimes you hope that that was just a fart. But I go on because I have new stories to tell.
Yes.
And the only reason I'm walking onto that stage and the only reason the theatre is still full is because South Africans just want to hear new stuff. If they've spent money, it's not always about how funny you are, because you can be funny, but if they come back 2 months later and they hear the same jokes, they go, man, we saw this. Why is this show under a different title, but it's the same material? So I try to keep the material fresh. I write about what I'm going through. And you know, if you stay honest, and then someone in the audience sits there and goes, "That's exactly what I went through in the parking area." You know, for me, for example, last week again, walking to my car, I get anxious when people are looking for parking because they drive behind you and their bumper is almost against your butt.
Yes.
And then you've got to try and walk in a sexy way, and you think, I should have dressed a lot better because now I've got a whole audience in a car watching me with the pressure on.
Yes.
I should have cleaned the car as well. So I go on stage and I talk about those things, for example. But also with my work, you know, because now I go through different generations, because the people who grew up watching me, they come to the shows with their teenagers now. So for me, it's still a privilege because it's cross-generational. But I try and stick with authenticity and honesty, and that I think is the secret to relevance.
The secret sauce.
The secret sauce, yeah.
Mark, you've of course, you know, had massive success with the Auntie Mole trilogy. I mean, we all know Auntie Mole. And so now you have introduced us to Colleen the musical. So I want to find out from you what made Colleen the right character to lead your fourth musical. If you can just go into that for us, yeah.
It was necessary to do the fourth musical because I got my credit card statement from the bank.
Yes.
And I thought, okay, what now? Because I'm one of those South Africans where after the second tequila, you start shouting at the table, no, guys, it's on me, I'll get it. And then you wake up the next morning and the truth is there for you. So I needed a new musical. I felt that we have the Auntie Mole trilogy, and we left it on a high. And my partner, who's also my producer, Anma McKay, said to me, I saw on TikTok that Colin is trending now, Colin the Cashier. It's a character I developed along with Mel more than 20 years ago. But young people are using her audio now on TikTok, and they think it's something new. Meanwhile, their parents saw that on VHS tapes.
Been there.
And we thought, let's bring Colin's world to life. So when you come and watch Colin the musical now, wherever you are in the country, and those details will be on marclottering.com, you will meet her bestie, you'll meet her supervisor, you'll meet the shelf packer, you'll meet the people in her world. The show kicked off in the mother city in Cape Town at the Baxter Theatre. We've been playing to sold-out audiences, to standing ovations every night. I'm so relieved because I didn't know if my fans would take to the new character having a full musical. But they have. I'm relieved but yet not shocked, because I always think if my material doesn't work, it's my good looks carry me through. Because people every night are always just so shocked that such a good-looking person with such amazing skin can be that funny as well, and for such a cheap ticket price. So I just remain a humble servant. In the words of Auntie Mole, I'm just a vessel.
But of course, of course. Mark, thank you so much for joining us on the show today, and thank you for warming our hearts, our homes. Please do continue doing what you're doing and remain this fantastic person that you are. Even though you might not know it, you're uplifting so many souls out there, and we do appreciate your time.
Wonderful chatting to you, and your complimentary tickets are on the back. And see in your eyes, you're going, where are my complimentary tickets?
I was like leading.
Okay, the whole crew's getting tickets. Okay, relax. So thank you for chatting to me.
Thank you, Mark. Well, there you have it. That was Marc Lottering. Now, for those who want to keep up with Mark, or of course catch the show, all you have to do is make your way to the Baxter. It does close on February 7th, so make sure that you are getting your tickets. You can follow Mark on Instagram, Facebook, and X at Marc Lottering, or visit marclottering.com. See you now.
But right now, though, a social media question your way. And listen, I was so entertained because Mark said, you get a ticket, you get a ticket. Everybody gets a ticket. He pulled an Oprah on us right here on the show, and we continue to entertain you all the way to the end of the show. But of course, we do have a social media question for you. I'm asking you, what is your favorite summer moment that you've had so far? My, oh my. I've had so many I can't even count, but it's not about me, it's about you. So please let us know. This City Living CTV across all our social media platforms. We want to know what you were getting up to in summer and what you enjoyed the most. Personally, I'd say going back home. I was in Durban. I got to see my mother. I had the most beautiful days every single time. So please do answer that. It's City Living, rather. CTV across all our social media platforms. Right now, a quick ad break for you and yours. Bye, guys.